Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and we'll get started on our next multiplayer matchup. We are going to be playing the Siege of Naroon. It's a 3,000 point matchup. I'm going to be playing against the Tyranids, and I'm going to be playing as the Astra Militarum, the defenders here. I thought that would just kind of set up a nice cinematic battle here, given a 3,000 point defensive map here. It's going to be 100% targets here with unlimited turns, so hopefully I'll be able to get enough kills to stop the Tyranids from being able to spawn a bunch of units on me. And then this is also a shout out to the maker of this map. I told him I would play it again, but I never did. So I'm going to kind of do our double tank commander, double Rogaldorm with Lehman Russ variants here. I'm going to have a mix of demolishers and then one Punisher Gatling cannon, and then a smattering of two commissars with their power swords, several Cadian shock troops just with the las gun, so I could get additional units here because I just want to be able to sacrifice them and also have them available to shoot down the low tier infantry, because one thing that our opponent could try to do here with a Tyranid, if he does a 3,000 point swarm build, that can definitely be very overwhelming for a lot of factions. So hopefully by having these guys up like this, I will be able to stop them from getting too out of control. But what I was going to say is I told the maker of this map that he made some edits after I played it before, and so I told him I would re-upload it with his new map variation here. So but it just took me some time to do it because I've been playing around with some of the other maps and things as well here, and then with the Astra Militarum DLC coming out, I wanted to put together some different matches with those guys as well on kind of standard maps, so I could give a better recommendations for you guys and then be able to put together those unit guides as well. So we're kind of curious to see how it goes. My big thing with him, as I was just saying before, he had the command point locations on these elevated positions towards the center, and the issue with that is for units, especially let's say if I was playing it with the Astra Militarum. Now they weren't released when I was playing this map last time, but it's like I have no way of getting up to those other than the stairs. So unless you have a bunch of units together that are going to have, you know, flying or hover capabilities, it's just going to lead to a lot of difficult engagement. So I was just recommending that he kind of move some of those strategic points around, and it looks like he did. So that should make it be a little more competitive gameplay. So kind of curious to see how this goes. Now I had forgotten actually that they have 2 turns to capture these points on the strategic command map. So I guess the question is do I want to advance or not? And I guess I will, even though it doesn't feel very good to waste a lot of my bonus attacks going after low tier infantry here. But if I can take a lot of these guys out, it should still allow me to do some good damage here. And if I can just focus these gargoyles, it should allow me to surge. Yeah, see, I'm already within surging capabilities here, and I haven't even finished shooting yet. So we'll just kind of stay back here. Have you finish these guys off. Yep, that works. I guess we'll just shoot here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that's really the best idea to do this. Oh, naturally. Naturally, he's got a hive tyrant here that I totally should have been focusing my attacks on. Oh man, I could have taken him out the first turn. Well, let's have you just shoot here, I guess. Man, I'm so disappointed I didn't see that earlier.
What next, sir?
Well, let's start pulling these infantry back, I guess. Big thing is I want to keep infantry around my commissar, so that way he has the evasion. If I bring you to here, then you can just set up some overwatch.
Awaiting your orders. What next, sir? Moving to the battle line.
Then if I bring you over to here, this should allow you to flame anybody that tries to flank. You can set up some overwatch like this if he's trying to get around you.
What next, sir?
And then I gotta pull these guys back a little bit. So I can't have them take out my Rogaldorn because that would be a disaster. Can you? No. Because you can only throw at 3. So maybe what I'll do is I'll set you up here. And then we have the best of both worlds. I still have you here. So I guess maybe we just set up your cannon overwatch. Alright, so that's 5% of his army down. What do we got over here? Looks like a lot of low-tier infantry again.
What next, sir?
Bring you guys up to here. Execute there. And then, let's see, now that I know he's going to...
Got your armor right here, sir.
Oh, I thought maybe he was going to have a tyrant over here.
Advance. Glory to the first soldier
Well,
to die.
that's unfortunate. I did that a little out of order here, so now my tank commander is not in great position here.
Got a battle to win.
I could start shooting into these guys.
Whose day are we rolling today, sir?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the tank commander here. He just seems to miss so many attacks. Now, let's get you up to here, I guess. Oh my gosh.
Got your armor right here, sir.
Pull you back.
Whose day are we rolling today, sir? Rolling out.
Now, I guess we'll just set up some overwatches.
Day are we rolling today, sir? Watching this area. With conviction.
And you should still be in cohesion.
Got your armor
Kind of feel like I should be pulling you guys back, though. In case he has a big swarm of Hormagaunts over here or something.
Through discipline.
Now, if I move you over to here, I should be able to flame. Oh, shit! I just misclicked. Well, now I can see everything he's got over here. Well, that's a big bummer. I was trying to flame him, but I misclicked onto the wrong square. Yeah, so he does have another Hive Tyrant over here. Well, pull you back, I guess.
Whose day are we rolling today, sir? Understood.
Well, let's just keep the Overwatch going, I guess.
Ready to win the war, sir? Moving to the battle line.
Again, keep you back here. Although I think these guys should be far enough back that he shouldn't be able to charge my Commissar. So here comes the swarm. Taking out all my Overwatches. Got some warriors. Thornback. Yep. Oh, is he gonna come into the middle? No. Maybe he was just short one. Alright, well that's not a bad hit.
They're shooting back.
Okay, so he's got the poison for his thorn back there. Yeah, so what he should have done is attacked with the Biovore. Biovore? I can't remember what they're called. I think it first, because then he would have been able to finish off that squad with the thorn back, and he would have got a little more momentum there. Yeah, our little guardsmen are just sitting back here with their little lasgun shooting. And then... Oh, I got excited there because I thought maybe he had moved the gargoyles down there first. Alright, so he's poisoning you, but that's not as big of a deal because I could just throw the grenade instead.
Quarry spotted. New targets just showed up.
Yeah, so he's got one of those spore guys over here too. I don't know if he's got some flyers he's trying to send up that way. Alright, well, let's take a look at this right side here. I really thought he was going to come over here and just kill my sentinels with that misclick. So the big thing with the sentinels is if I can land 2 attacks, this should allow me to take out 2 warriors, which would be huge. Now, yes, it's going to allow him to get some overwatch there, but I will gladly sacrifice a sentinel in exchange for 2 warriors. Try to get rid of those synapses here, because that significantly lowers their accuracy and momentum gains.
Awaiting your orders.
Now, I've got this situation going here. I still have your ability to do a bunch of attacks. I'd really like to take out that Hive Tyrant. So maybe if I land all my attacks with the Destroyer here, I should be able to kill that Trigone, and then I can move my other tanks around. So let's do that. Good hit. Let's see, and that's 5 and 4. So let's do that. Nice. And then back another one. 100% chance to hit. Excellent. Alright, we're just a little short. But honestly, I think you guys should be able to run up here and just shoot them. Yep, sure could. Alright, I got you. So I think I'm just going to run you up here. Grenade. Yep, took those guys out. I was hoping that was going to be enough to get you to surge. Because I was hoping to then have you just shoot into that single unit there, but that was not to be. But let's do our double attack over here. You, with your 2 attacks, should be able to kill this guy. Usually you don't want to waste your attacks on those kind of things, but you do against the Tyranids because they get those synapse bonuses. Now that's 18 if I get the kill there. If I do this, that should be 100 to 140. I think that's what I want to do. Ah, I should have attacked first. If I get you over here, that's up to 80. Okay. Oh, man. Come on, Tank Commander. Alright, well, I guess we'll move you over to here. And you can shoot there. And I guess we'll have you attack here. Okay, good. let's move you up one and have you shoot into these guys. Nice. Well, if that's the case, I think we'll just move you up another one then. Have you surge, and then we'll shoot again. Nice. And then I can have you shoot into the biovore, because I don't want him spawning in spores every turn. Nice. Alright, and that got you enough to be able to surge. So while I'd like to attack the Hive Tyrant, I think going after this guy to stop him from being able to heal every turn. Nice. And then to stop him from having the bonus melee damage by 25%. Yes. Alright, so that was fantastic. Let's bring you over to here. I don't know if you're going to be able to do any damage. Yeah, it probably wasn't worth it to have you over there. Well, let's turn you so your rear's not exposed.
I've got it from here. Awaiting your orders.
Victory through discipline.
Alright, let's move you guys back here so then you guys will get at least the Commissar buffs. If I move you to there, I could have a Tank Commander buff go into these guys, but then the Hive Tyrant will kill you. So we probably want to just pull you back.
Right you are then. Ready to win the war, sir.
Alright, and got you guys over here. Now, onto this side.
Moving to the battle line.
Bring you up to here. Grenade. Oh, not enough.
Lining up, sir.
Firing.
Alright, they're down.
Through discipline.
Bring you up to here.
Praise the Emperor for these plates. Sentinel on the move.
Alright, what else we got over here?
Rolling out.
I guess we know we're good
Rolling out.
to about there. If I bring you to here, you should be able to shoot that spore. Alright, so we know he's got an exocrine over here.
Armored Sentinel, ready. Sentinel on the move.
Wherever you need us.
Let's see, how do I want to do this? Alright, we can see some additional guys over here. He's actually got a Tyrannifex over there.
Whose day are we rolling today, sir?
Armored Sentinel, ready.
I could have you shoot into the warriors, I guess. Oh, I was thinking you had your double attacks.
Armored Sentinel, ready.
Armor rolling out.
Alright, well, let's start bringing these guys over to try to keep guys into battle line doctrines.
Advance.
Bring you over to here to hide this way. Because we know he still has that Hive Tyrant over here somewhere.
Awaiting your orders.
Got your armor right here, sir. Ready to win the war, sir.
Alright, just try to shoot. Nice. That was huge for us. Well, it was worth a shot.
What next, sir?
And I'll just bring these guys up to set up some Overwatch.
Whose day are we rolling today, sir? Understood. Got your armor right here.
Alright, so I think I have everybody in battle line. Hopefully he'll come after the Sentinels and the infantry. Yeah, this guy's gonna die.
10 more will take our place.
Alright, so we've taken out 48% of his forces. He's dropping in some spore mines on me. And unfortunately he had exceptionally bad luck on those 5 spawns because not a single one landed on my units. Looks like he must have just moved in one of his weak units to soak up that Overwatch. Yeah, he's just coming back here, attacking me. Exocrine is using its supercharged ability, I guess, to attack my vehicles. Trying to use the Tyrannifex to tank. That makes sense.
Whose day are we ruling today, sir?
In fact, it might actually be a little difficult for me to get that kill, given how close he is.
Lining up, sir.
Well, we're due for executions again, so let's just move everybody up, I guess.
Move into the battle line. Advance. The death of this coward will temper your faith.
Alright, so you're 3 away from being able to surge. So if you kill anybody, you should be able to go.
Armor right here, sir. Armor rolling out.
Alright, if I pull you back, now I should be able to buff everybody's crit chances.
Got your armor right here, sir.
Alright, I gotta drop this Tyrannifex. He is like the biggest issue here. Because not only does he
Right here, sir.
have decent melee, but he has the acidic trait, which means he will start poisoning my vehicles.
Firing.
And then I'll do like 40 damage, I think, every turn. But I'd really like to take down the healer as well. Good hit. God, why does he just seems to miss so much. Alright, well, you're not likely to do any
What
damage.
next, sir?
Oh, I don't have these guys with their bayonets on. I was thinking I did.
Grenade out.
So I was going to try to attack him from the rear to try to break his zone of control.
Armored Sentinel ready.
Let's see here. How do I want to do this? Oh, excuse me. Voice cracked.
Awaiting your orders.
I can shoot, but it's 0 out of 0. 76. 90. 69. 73. Good.
Wherever you need us.
Alright, pull you back.
Let 'em see what happens when I try to
Keep
stop
you
us.
safe there.
Armored Sentinel ready.
I guess let's just have you flame here if you're going to do 2 attacks.
Run while you can, Bill. Armored Sentinel ready.
Alright, and you're still over here. So if I move you up to here and then flame, you should be able to weaken him down a little bit as well. Then I'll pull you back so you're still in cohesion.
From here.
What next, sir? With conviction.
Yeah, I feel like I just have to go for it. So if I move you to here,
Rolling out.
if you can land that 72%. Nice. Alright, so now I'll get 2 more attacks. So if that's the case, I'm going to move you up to here, and now I can just start shooting into this guy. Good hit. No, I don't want to surge yet until I did that because it lowers my grace chance. Shit, which just happened there, as you saw.
Rogal Dawn crew ready.
And it increases my crit chance, so that's why I knew I was going to get the kill, so I'd rather have the stat buffs for the attack.
Lining up, sir.
So that's why I didn't surge right away.
Armored Sentinel ready.
Yeah, so we're in a little bit of trouble over on this side here, because he's about to just melee everybody down. Let's just abandon that destroyer here.
Armored Sentinel, ready.
Firing!
Alright. And with those crit chances, they actually did decent damage there. So I wonder if those Kasserkin would actually do pretty decent too with all those shots they have with that crit potential.
Awaiting your orders.
Well, I guess we just bring you up to here, see if we can get them to sacrifice some attacks onto the guardsmen. We've taken out over half of his forces, and we still haven't even moved these guys on the right side yet. Yeah, it's only a 55% chance to hit.
Armored Sentinel, ready.
So actually, if I move you over to here,
Sentinel on the move.
there we go, there's 2 of them down. Alright, so I gotta take out this Hive Tyrant. Now, thankfully, he did not get his money's worth on that Spore Cloud. We'll do this. That'll get us back some momentum. You're too far away. Alright, he's down.
My authority is inviolate.
Alright, good. There's another spore down. I guess we'll just shoot into here. 60% chance to hit. If I get you to here, it's actually lower.
On the way.
Put you there to have your back against the wall. And I guess we'll just move you over 1 to here so you're not quite as obstructed, although it didn't seem to make a big difference.
Armored Sentinel, ready.
Alright, we'll just set up some Overwatch, I guess.
Are we routing today, sir?
Nice. That was huge. Alright, so next turn we should be able to take out that Hive Tyrant then. Actually, I might be able to do it this turn. If I can pull back the Rogodorn
Let's try to get through this armor.
and land a shot.
Firing.
There we go, he's down.
Victory through discipline.
Awaiting your orders.
Alright, so we're up to 68%. Yeah, that's the right guy. I assume he just healed. Oh, he healed himself to increase melee damage as well. Exocrine is... I don't know what he's doing. Alright, there's 103.
Who hit the armor?
93.
Looked unlucky from up here.
Got your armor right here, sir.
Alright, so...
Ready to
now we just gotta finish these guys off here.
Victory through discipline.
You're almost to tier 2. And then I can do some strafing runs.
Whose day are we routing today, sir?
Yeah, your chance to hit is just really, really low
Lining up, sir.
due to you being engaged, because when a unit is engaged, it suffers accuracy penalties unless you're a Tau, because then they have immunity to that effect on their war suits, not crisis suits, like the Riptide and things like that. Alright, now I'm up to 2. So if I come... okay, so it's actually short. Alright, let's do that and that then. and that should allow us to strafe through. That was actually pretty good for us with all those crits.
Got your armor right here, sir. Gunners, I need you firing now.
Alright, that'll get you more shots.
Firing.
Alright, he's down. I'll have you double attack here. That should increase your damage and decrease the graze chance.
Armored Sentinel, ready.
Have you just waste your flame here, as will you. We're 11 short.
Armored Sentinel, ready.
Got your armor right here, sir.
Alright, so I can run you up here and just have you chop down the exocrine.
Flee or be cut down where you stand.
He's down. And then if I move you up here, can I kill the Biovore? Oh, you're just short. But if I move you up and surge here, nice. That was actually pretty huge. Now ideally I'd like to body block these points, but you can't actually do that on a siege map.
Wherever you need us. Let them see what happens when they try to stop us. Firing.
Alright, I'll just have you shoot, I guess. Decent shot.
Firing.
Might as well just try to shoot. Yeah, I can't say I'm terribly shocked that you missed.
Awaiting your orders.
Alright, not terrible.
Dawn crew ready.
That might be his last unit, actually.
Search and destroy. Armored Sentinel, ready.
And I guess we'll start shifting you over to this side, since everybody else is over there.
Landing up, sir.
Sentinel on the move.
Rolling out.
Alright, that should be good. Yep, so he's gonna finish off this vehicle, I imagine.
Who doesn't have permission
Yeah.
to die? Keep fighting.
Got 59.
Got your armor right here, sir.
Alright, so we've got this guy over here. So I guess let's just start shooting into him. Try to get as many kills as we can here. Good. Excellent. And actually, I think the Commissar with a 100% chance to hit should just get the kill. And he does. So that was a nice victory for us here. 100%. Totally tabled them and only lost one unit here. So we took out the Warriors, the Hormigons, Termagons, Spore Mines, Exocrine, Hive Tyrant, Thornback, Biovore, Tervagons, Gargoyles, Trigones, Tyrannofex, and our tank commander had 80% accuracy for both of them. Our Commissar had an 86% chance at ranged attacks, 100% when he got into melee. Our Rogaldorn had a 48% chance of accuracy. That must have been while he was shooting all those low-tier units. The other one had 75. Battle Russ Lehman tank had 100% accuracy. The other one had 2 kills and had a 77% accuracy. The Armored Sentinel should all have 100% accuracy because of their flamer attacks. And then as you can see, our Cadian shock troops have real variable accuracy rates. And then the Cadian, or the Lehman Russ battle tank had 79 for the last one there. And that was our Demolisher. And really, it served us pretty well. It landed a lot of attacks, even ones I wasn't expecting it to. It's just it was shooting at point-blank range, and or units that were way outside the range that I normally shouldn't have been able to hit. Now, this player did say he's a little bit newer here. So what I would say is you've got a good, diverse battle plan here, but you got to decide how you want to do it, especially when you're going against the Astra Militarum. Now, I suspect you were probably thinking, God, I don't want to do a Swarm Tactics build because he's probably going to have a couple of Basilisks at 2,000 points, and if you have everybody grouped up trying to siege this area, you know, having some of those barrage abilities, if you have a 3x3 square totally filled, then I'm going to land 3 attacks on you, and that can just feel really bad. But you know, you got to kind of decide how you're coming in. Now, the Biovores worked out well for you because they get pretty good accuracy once you start getting them to synapse. Then they can almost squad wipe out those Cadian shock troops, which allows you to get in there and stop me from doing the momentum farming that I can do with the execute ability with my commissars. You know, you went with the Devil Hive Tyrant build, which can be good, but you just have to decide how you're doing it, because I don't think I saw you use the Hive Mind Synapse ability at all with him. And what that does is I think everybody within 3 or 4 tiles ends up getting momentum gains, and when you have your other Synapse creatures there giving you 225% increased momentum, that gets you well over 50 momentum, if I remember correctly. 40s to 50s, and that really will do a lot to help you increase your damage and accuracy, I think is how it works with the Tyranids and their momentum, if I remember correctly. So that would definitely help you out. And then once you get into combat with the vehicles, you know, you want to get in there and start locking guys down into close quarters, because then it's harder for me to shoot back with that, you know, Demolisher cannon and the Tank Commander and the Lehman Russ tank, things like that. I would definitely recommend that you throw in a little more Hormigons when you're doing it. I think you kind of overextended yourself. The other thing to keep in mind is on a map like this, you know, the creator of this map has it set up for these 4 points for the siege, but then on the ends of the map there's also openings there, so if you have other units come around there and then allow you to flank instead of giving me a nice clear alleyway for me to be shooting down, because that's like the perfect situation for the Astra Militarum, is setting up a shooting gallery, and then your guys were kind of spaced out where some of them had a lot of movement, other ones were sitting back behind, and so I was able to just keep picking you off from afar, especially when I start farming my double action, my double 100% actions for the attacks for every weapon, because then, you know, all of a sudden with those Rogodorns that have 4 weapons, that's a significant amount of shots. And the Astra Militarum are a pretty hard counter to the Tyranid, so certainly don't feel disappointed. But, you know, with those Thornbacks, what I found has worked pretty well is you have them and then you charge them in to get into melee combat. But the other thing is it against the Astra Militarum, it actually makes sense for you to bring some acid builds, so to put out their different acid cannon, because if you would have just landed one single attack onto one of my tanks, then all of a sudden I am taking acid damage every turn, and I can't heal as the Astra Militarum, so I can really allow you to do significant amounts of damage to my vehicles while you're waiting to get into combat. I kind of wish the Hive Tyrant had some acid abilities too. I wish there was some way you could do like both acid and poison, kind of alternate like a different weapon or something, because then you would have more. He could be like your super long range anti-vehicle killer too, and then he could really just be good at everything, but I think they were worried that that would just be too much to deal with, because he's already a pretty good unit. But it's against, when you're playing against the Astra Militarum, you definitely feel the lack of real good anti-armor from range. I mean, the big thing is your Hive guards, and so you typically want to bring some of them with your shockwave cannon when you're playing as the Tyranids against the Astra Militarum, because you know there's going to be a tank heavy force. But the problem is you can only bring a few of them out, so even against a tank heavy force, if you can't land those overwatches or other units are in the way and they just get picked off, then again it's real hard for you to get in there and have that anti-vehicle killing power, because you either have to run in there with low tier infantry, in which case you're going to get yourself flamed down by the sentinels, or your warriors will get picked off from range too, because everything's good against them. So it's definitely a hard matchup. You did a good job with those biovores. If you don't have anybody in range, then you want to just spawn some mines around, make me waste some attacks, and allow you to get as many kills as you want. But I think if you would have spaced your forces out a little bit by coming in at different angles, that would have worked best for you. Now, you did have the Dragoons with you too, and they're definitely a good unit against the Astra Militarum, because that's one of the ways you're able to clear the distance to get them into combat, is you can use that burrow ability and really start locking me down. But unfortunately, you only had the one, and it was kind of far away, and so I was able to just keep picking those guys off from you as well. So, and then the Tyranid is always a good option, but again, yes, it has the acid ability, but I was able to just kind of pick them off with all my other guys now, because with those reworks of the Astra Militarum, before it was like every 3 turns the last cannon would come off a cooldown, whereas now it's every 2. So now these guys are actually real good at not only taking out infantry, but also taking out heavily armored units too, like the Tyranid, so that really allows us to get a lot of good shots onto you. The Gargoyle is always a good option. That you can move them around and capture points. I think had you had sent a couple of them along the flanks there to try to capture some of the rear strategic points, I would either force me to send some guys over there to try to take them out, or would have allowed you to capture some of those points. Now, what I'm not sure about on these custom maps is usually on the siege maps, by the end, you'll start to summon in new units. So I don't know if if it happens on a certain turn, or once you capture a certain amount of points, like if you capture 2 points or more, if that spawns in a bunch of low tier infantry to help me out. But you just got to be aware of that. On the regular campaign maps, multiplayer maps, I guess I should call it, is I will spawn in additional units on top of everything that you got, so that would have put things even more in my favor here. And then what I really struggle with the Tyranids is what kind of command point abilities to use against the Astra Militarum. I've done the spore mines, you've done the spore mines. Because it's so RNG, it definitely feels bad. Usually those spore mines will be somewhere between like 20 and 60 damage for a vehicle, and it can only be 1 per vehicle. So I almost wonder if it wouldn't make more sense to use the remove overwatch and actually momentum gains to stop your opponents from being able to surge and get multiple attacks on you. I think this might be a matchup where that makes a lot of sense. Now, if they have obviously a heavy infantry build, then using that Venom Strafe ability may be better too. But I think that causes poison, not acidic damage, so I don't know how much that'll do against vehicles. Now, if there's a big line of them, then if you can guarantee landing hits with 3 or 4 vehicles with that Venom Strafe, I think that'll always come out ahead more than the spore mines do, because I think even if they're right next to you and they have a zone of control, I don't think it counts as engagement, so I don't think it's going to lower the ranged accuracy of my units, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So like I said, I think they're just having a little different force selection would have worked out much better with you. More warriors, more Hormigons, maybe add in a few Gene Stealers because they're really good against anti-armor, maximize your Trigones, getting your Hive Tyrants with your Shockwave Cannons, and then just fill in a bunch with Swarm Tactics to either chew up the Overwatch, or you use some Venomthropes in there too, because remember they have that Spore Cloud ability to give them increased evasion and ranged armor. And then if you get them into combat, into an area where I'm going to have to move into, then you can throw down that acid cloud, which will make me suffer increased ranged and melee damage as well, to help you kind of start stacking things up to get the most kills. But certainly don't get discouraged, because this is a very hard matchup. And then as for feedback for the maker of this map, I definitely like the changes you made after I trial run this on my first run of this. I think having those strategic points where you have them now make a lot of sense. The only thing, again, is it's kind of the same criticism I had before, is when you had those strategic command points up on that elevated position with just the stairs. On that rear position, again, you have a lot of stairs, so anybody that doesn't have hover units, that's going to be really hard for them to get up there and capture those points, especially if you're doing like an 8 or a 10 turn matchup on a map that's this big. So I think probably a better way of doing it is just set up a ramp on that back area, and that way you're not creating unfavorable situations for certain factions, and it also will lead to really overwhelming engagements. Now, If you're playing an unlimited turn, then it's not as big of a deal. You can have your guys kind of hugging the wall, and then they'll be in heavy cover. But I don't know that most people that play Siege are going to be playing unlimited turns, because part of the way that you can make it more challenging as the attacker, or more challenging for the defender, is by having a turn limit, because then you spread your forces out and then they have to spread their forces out. Whereas if it's unlimited turns, I can just kind of plop all my forces on each one of these spots here, and then that forces them to come to me, and then I have a major advantage on there. So by creating some turn limits, that does make it lead to more competitive and strategic play, and then by making them have more areas to access those strategic command points allows both factions to have to position a little bit better. So, but overall, I think you did a good job on this map. It's definitely an interesting map. It doesn't have so much stuff all over the place that it makes it impossible to play. Sometimes custom maps get too much random junk thrown around the map just for you know, to set the motif here, but then it just gets to be cumbersome. So there's a lot here, but not so much that it's overwhelming. So definitely get a thumbs up for me on this map. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. Encourage me to post more content for you. Have a great day.